So, VR space game. Lots has changed. Lots of bugs have been fixed. And where are you, ships? There's some formation stuff in here now. So a group of ships, when selected and told to go somewhere, will join a formation. And just warp in some more fighters. Zoop. Let's get some more. More fighters. I love this menu. The menu is great, I've decided, because you don't involve your eyes in the menu process. If you know where each orb is in turn, then it's just muscle memory. So you need not involve your eyes in the loop. So it works very quickly. So you see they've now gone into a formation. Formations can be in any orientation, so a little tail there points in the direction of the formation, so you can formate them facing downwards. You can formate big ships together. You can formate big ships and little ships together. The movement code isn't very complex right now, so they do tend to bonk into each other, but that's not a problem. It doesn't damage them because of proximity repulsor field sensor tech. There you go. Science fiction to the rescue. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's swap in another carrier. I've only got carriers and fighters in at the moment, but yeah, it's working pretty well. I've been thinking about what sort of game it's going to be and how multiplayer is going to work. Multiplayer in VR right now is very tricky because there's basically like somewhere in the order of magnitude of 100,000 people in the whole world who have VR, probably far less. Not too far less. So, the most popular multiplayer VR game in the world right now has at most like 15 people playing worldwide concurrent. So you can't really build a VR game that involves two people, or even just two people being online at the same time to have a game together. It has to be sort of more Dark Souls-y, drop in, drop out, on the fly, fluid multiplayer. Quiver does this, so if you select multiplayer, you join a game that other people are playing right now. You might be the only person in there at any given time, but if somebody else is already playing multiplayer and you decide to start playing multiplayer, then you'll join them. I think that's a pretty elegant solution, and I'm probably going to steal it. So basically there'll be a persistent game state, and if you do multiplayer, you'll join that game state, and then there'll be some overarching system happening that you join in and you interact with one small portion of it and take over a sector or something or whatever. I don't know if it's going to be competitive or cooperative. Co-op in VR, it's just great. It's just because it's people doing people things. That's fun. The iconification stuff, I think I showed that off before. So once the ship model becomes a certain number of pixels, it turns to an icon. So you can keep track of stuff when you're far zoomed out. That's about it. Still tuning how the ships move. I want some sort of inertia and grace and majesty to the big capital ships. But in doing so, you make them very clumsy, and maneuvering a big, slow thing that is relatively underpowered for its size is difficult to do manually. And I've driven houseboats before, and they've got relatively small engines, but they have a lot of mass, so it's hard to be elegant moving a houseboat around, and big capital ships have the same thing. And doing clever things in AI is hard. So, I don't know. It's an ongoing challenge, because if I tell that guy who's inside that order marker to go to here, he's going to bonk. He's just going to fly straight into that ship. So that's relatively easy. I could say, draw a line from where you started to where you're going to, and if you can't get there directly, then invent a third point. So you go there and then there. That's not too hard, but when you've got a tight formation of capital ships and you're trying to maneuver multiple ships around each other, it gets a bit tricky. So yeah, moving around and combat AI is next. I just love this selection system. It feels great. I posted a video recently about having some difficulties I was having with reliable selection of small things. So I scaled everything up by a factor of 10 and that solved it. So it looks like small triangles confuse Unity a bit. Okay, that's it. Bye-bye.